Middle school was the worst for me, just for the record. I hated
Why?
school. It was like defining me, period. And I got teased and picked on. And, it was just a lot. And I was very much a recluse in middle school. I was in elementary school, totally not.
Right.
Captain of
I was gonna,
section
yes.
patrol. I'm in SecMe. I mean, academically the top. You know, every extracurricular club I was a part of. I was,
Right.
doing those type of things. But when I got to middle school, it was not that type of story. I was like the nerd,
The
awkward.
one out.
Yes. So everybody
Mm.
had it out for me, even the grown folks. I don't know.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yes. And so just kind of dealing with that, from being, excelling in elementary school and then kind of having a different experience at junior high school. How did that propel you for high school? What high school did you go to, by the way?
I graduated.
You went to think what high schools did you
Yeah.
go to? Yeah.
I graduated from Classic City High. It's a building
Okay.
in Melinda Gates
Okay.
School. What it was at the time, I don't know if it still is, but it was.
Hmm.
And yeah, I went there. It gave me an opportunity to graduate on time, possibly early, and go ahead and do what I needed to do. I could kind of go at my own pace versus me having to follow a specific curriculum based on grade levels. So um, that was the last school that I attended. But I also went to Evans in Augusta, Georgia. And I also went to William S. Hutchins Career Center. That's all. I love Williams. I was there.
Okay. I was just about to ask you which high school you like the best. So apparently that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I can go on and on about that school, but I won prom king 3 years in a row at that school. So that tells you just like
How did that happen?
experience. I mean, it was based on votes. So, but I did a lot in that school. I really loved that. That was like my baby. I had a lot of friends. It was, all in all, a great experience.
Yeah, but you
Um,
started. Oh, I'm sorry.
but I started what?
No, I was saying that also. Because I know based on the conversation that we had, you started so early in your career, so to speak. In you owning your craft. Because I remember you telling me that you would because you also add to your list of accomplishments also event planner as well because you've done those things. You put together different shows and different events even at that at that young age. So I wanted to interject that one. And
Yeah, I was a young, what do you call them? I don't know. A
I
young
mean,
scholar.
you was just you were just like jack of all trades. You just you know someone that just kind of you kind of delve into the fashion, like I said, event planning. Um, did the makeup come later?
Makeup came, no, makeup
It was around that time, high school.
came, no, makeup came in college.
Okay, got you. So just go real quickly and back into high school. You said you graduated from what was it? You graduated from where?
Classic City High School in Athens, Georgia.
Athens, Georgia.
Shout
Okay.
out to Classic City.
And so during that time, like during high school, just overall, during high school overall, what other extracurricular activities did you get into? Did you play any sports? Did you get into other avenues there? Were you did you have teachers that
So,
influenced you?
okay, when it comes to sports, I only played sports in elementary school, like as far as like on a team and stuff like that, which I played football, baseball, and I ran track. When I got to middle school, I did not do any extracurricular activities outside what was required of me. Uh,
Okay.
so of course I did like little stuff, for PE and that type of stuff, but I wasn't doing that. But I was a part of the band, so I played the saxophone, and when I was younger, I also played the violin and the piano. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so those were some of the things I did. When I got to high school, I went to a career high school. So the first high school that I went to, which is William S. Hutchins, they didn't have any sports or anything like that, but they did have a dance team, which I was the captain.
Okay.
They had a step team, which I was the captain of. They had a school
Of course you
newspaper,
were.
which I was the editor of. They also had a news team that reported the news every morning, which I was one of the executive producers for. They had like SECMEs, like the science clubs and things like that. I was members of those as well. Becca, I don't know if y'all remember that. I'm like, but they all just were like academic, business type of things. So I was very active in my school when it came to William S. Hutchins Career Center, on Riverside Drive in Macon, Georgia. Which I recently heard that they closed the schools. I don't know if that's absolutely true, but I was heartbroken when I heard the news. And then last but not least, Evans, I was like one of 3 Black kids in Augusta, Georgia. Was definitely not trying to be seen, not trying to do nothing extra, even though that didn't work. I still stuck out like a sore thumb. And then Classic City was more so an academic based school, so they didn't have like clubs and things. It was just you come there and do your work, and go home. So that was that. But I've always been involved in things and doing things even outside of school, whether it was creating my own magazine with my sister or, being the Candy Kids and selling candy and ices. I've always been
entrepreneur
active, doing something. And so I remember growing up, we would like make gowns out of sheets and stuff. We would take all my mom would clean the sheets and be making all these long gowns, and my sister would be walking like through 3 rooms with a gown on and just all kind of stuff like that. So, I feel like I've always been like creative and just like doing things even outside of school, even when I didn't have like necessary outlets. I would kind of
right. You can create it. But let me ask you, Argyle, because this had to come from somewhere. Like I know that you said, your parents, being your father being a pillar in this community, being the pastor and the spiritual realm, and then you have the industrial side from your mom. But when it comes to you, like where do you think that draws from? Like when you just have that spirit and that type of ability and that anointing to just kind of get out there and just do, even whether it's selling candy, selling the ices, um, um, coordinating events, and just being the overall creative person that you are. Like, where did that stem from? Like, it came from somewhere. What
I
was
think it stemmed from my parents. Both
Mhm,
of my parents are highly intelligent people,
mhm,
very creative people, very fashion. They were very fashionable people. Whether it was dressing for church or
mhm.
dressing for a parade, it didn't matter. Like both sides of my family loved to dress. Um, I would say I felt like I am a perfect blend between both of my parents. Now, when it comes
Yes,
to like talents and gifts and things like that, I truly feel that they are God given because
yes.
though there are some things like when it comes to event coordinating and stuff like that, I have aunts that did that growing up, and they would make flower arrangements and stuff. They would decorate. I remember my aunts coming over and decorating my parents' house for Christmas, and putting up like 3 Christmas trees. So there are certain things that I feel like were planted in me throughout the years from like maybe different people, and I come from a very large family. My father was one of 11, so I have a lot of cousins and aunts and uncles, and everybody kind of has something that they do, whether it's cooking or, it wasn't a lot of singers in my family other than my siblings. I do have other siblings that can sing their butt off, but yeah, my mom and my dad are not singers. They're not really
Mhm.
performers, and my dad is a public speaker, so I guess that is a part of performing.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Um,
There's an art to that.
yes, there is definitely art to that.
Mhm.
Like he can get in front of an audience, he don't care how big or small, and do his thing. So yes, there's certain things I feel like I get, but like just being a multifaceted, talented person, I haven't met a whole bunch of people like that. So I feel like even growing up, it was a struggle for me. Um, just like identifying who I was and what I should do because I had so many passions, so many talents, and so many things that I wanted to do. So yeah.
Okay, so now, so going into you talked about your time in high school. Now I know you spent some time in college. Did you go straight to college or did you have some time in between and then you went?
So uh, fast story. I applied to one college. Um, at the last one, I think I applied to one other. And I mean, it was like by the nick of time. But I applied to Morehouse College, and I remember submitting my stuff, and it was like the day before the last day. I had to overnight it, and my dad was like fussing
Mhm.
at me. Anyway, I did not get into Morehouse, so I ended up getting a job with Wells Fargo Auto. I was doing auto collections, and like I was the person that kind of did the repossessions. I was like the department that handled repossessions before the people came and got your car, and making very lucrative money. I mean, yeah, very young. You know, I was like, okay, well, if I'm not going to school, you know, I may have a career in this. I'm making great money. I didn't really have any real bills, so I was able to buy a car and expensive jeans, and you know, just living a carefree life. And one day I got a call from Morehouse, like a week before school started, saying that they wanted me to come start orientation.
Really? A week before?
A week before, I called
Wow.
my parents, and they were ecstatic. Um, and they asked me what I wanted to do. I was just like, well, I would love to, you know, go to school. And so I quit my job that day,
Wow.
and they offered me more money to stay. I'll never forget that. And yeah, I went to Morehouse,
Just like that. Wow. And what did you study?
political science.
Oh, and why that?
I was on a track to be an attorney, so I thought, but found
Mm.
out that that was not going to be my journey.
Uh, okay, okay. And so what made you kind of switch lanes?
Well, I was able to do an internship, and I was like, this is not what I
Okay.
thought it was. I ended up finding a passion for beauty and makeup in college. And
Mhm.
so I started my first business in college, which was Beat Stupid, a talent agency where I was like collecting makeup artists and hairstylists all around Atlanta and getting us booked for these different jobs, um, doing makeup and hair. And so I was doing makeup and hair. I mean, not hair, but doing makeup out of my dorm room. And I started doing like all the college kids and the pageant kids and the for sororities and fraternity kids, and it just kind of evolved.
It evolved from
So
there. Yes.
I
Because
knew that I had a niche and a talent for it, and it got to the point where Morehouse and Spelman was cutting me checks to do what I was doing. So I was like, man, I'm really good at this. And so yeah, and I went on to go into TV production and start working into reality television and high fashion
yes.
magazines, and
Mhm.
you know, just one thing led to the other year. So I have a lot of experiences.
Yes,
I
absolutely.